Hey, Ducks fans, Michael Polak back for episode 2 of Off the Fowl Pole. We hope you were able to tune in to episode 1 when we brought in Long Island Ducks great outfielder and hitting coach Lou Ford. Always fun to talk to Lou, but I've got an even better guest. I don't want to say even better, but equally as awesome guest for episode number 2, and that is, of course, the wonderful number 7, John Brownell. John, thanks so much for taking the time and talking to us here on our second episode of Off the Fowl Pole.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to be back and talking with you.
So John's checking in from his home in Omaha, Nebraska, obviously about halfway or so across the country. And let's start off by asking, what have you been up to lately, given the fact that we haven't had any baseball in 2020?
Just a lot of work. I've been doing some landscaping this year and
Nice.
got a pretty good gig. And so I've just been doing that. And, nothing's really slowed down as far as that because we're always outside. And it seems like people are probably wanting to do yard work and get stuff done since they've got a little more time on their hands.
I know being a baseball player, you're constantly away, traveling, and never get a chance to really spend as much time with your wife and your 2 kids. How much fun has it been, even though you haven't been able to play baseball, get to spend time with them?
It's been great. Like you said, I've been gone pretty much my kids, most of their lives, or at least half of them. So this is the first year I've had the full year where I've been able to watch their sports and be a part of that. And it's just been great, watching their development and watching them grow up. It's good to finally sit back on the sidelines.
I know they've all made many trips up to Long Island while you were there. How much are they missing those trips to Long Island?
They miss them. They miss coming and visiting wherever I'm at, and they came down to Sugar Land a few times when we were down there. So they've always tried to come out every season, and they always look forward to those trips.
They're just really craving a real good slice of pizza. Isn't that the case?
Oh yeah, Sbarro, they're the best, right?
New York is always the best. You know it.
Yeah.
You bring up Sugar Land. I guess that's kind of one of the most topic-worthy things to discuss, and we'll start with that. News reporting this past week, some rumors surfacing that they would be leaving the Atlantic League and becoming the AAA affiliate of the Houston Astros. Of course, while you were with the Ducks, you faced them twice in the Atlantic League Championship Series, had many trips to and from Sugar Land in those classic battles. Just speak about kind of that rivalry that almost blossomed over the last few years, especially between the Ducks and the Skeeters.
Yeah, it seemed like it definitely developed over time. I know when I first came to Long Island, that actually Sugar Land was my first start down there.
Yeah.
So, and they were new to the league, so but definitely towards the end of my run in Long Island, it seemed like we had a pretty good rivalry and had some heated contests with them. But it was a lot of fun because they had some really good teams.
Yeah, they certainly did, and those battles, of course, 3 out of the last 4 years of Atlantic League play in the championship series, battling for the title. You brought up that first start of yours while you were with the Ducks. That did happen down at Constellation Field. Take me back to that day. You're joining the Ducks for the very first time. You had been pitching in the American Association for quite a while. Did you view this as kind of an audition, as a step up for you from where you were pitching, and an opportunity, even though it wasn't, say, back in a major league organization or in the major leagues, but an audition where you had some big spotlight on you pitching in the Atlantic League for the first time?
Yeah, definitely. Being in independent ball for a while, there's definitely levels to independent baseball. And after I had gotten to the American Association and, had talked to guys about the Atlantic League and looking at the caliber of players and the experience of guys in the Atlantic League, it was much deeper. And I definitely wanted to move up. And it seemed like it would, if not open doors back into affiliated baseball, definitely more doors for winter baseball. And it definitely did.
Of course, you joined the Ducks in 2012. A month later, you're an Atlantic League champion. You come back in 2013. And a few months after that, you're another Atlantic League champion. Just speak about that success early on in your Ducks career and how special it was being a part of those 2 teams who certainly had very roller coaster-like seasons, but ultimately got the job done when it mattered most.
It's great. Yeah, we did have some ups and downs. I remember 13 and 12 because I late in 2012. But the team stuck together and really battled and did whatever we could to find ways to win towards the end of the season to get back into the playoffs and scrap together a great championship run there. And it was something that I'll always remember being a part of those two teams and of that success of just the organization itself.
I would have to think 2013 resonates in your memory so much, being that you won all three of your playoff starts, had an ERA under 3, championship series MVP. How special was it getting the chance to pitch in that decisive Game 5 in Somerset and pitch into the 9th inning to ultimately get the win and get that second straight championship?
It was awesome. I was just, happy to be in that situation. Anybody on that staff was deserving to be in that situation. And, I didn't want to let anybody down, because we had played so hard and to get to that point. And I was tired, but, I knew that we had a good team and it was going to be a close game. And, I'll definitely remember it because it was one of the best runs I've had personally, and as part of a team too. That stretch run at the end of the regular season into the playoffs.
And of course, that Game 5 at TD Bank Ballpark was so special. Being on the bench, watching Ray Navarrete hit that go-ahead home run in the 4th inning. What were some of the emotions running through you when you saw that ball leave the fence and at that point, I've got to lead, the game is in my hands?
When he hit the home run, I knew I had just had a feeling that we were going to win the game. That put us ahead, and it gave us a little bit of a cushion. I can't remember if it was 4-1 or 4-2, maybe at that time.
I think it was 4-1.
But it gave us a nice cushion, and it took a little pressure off of me. I just had to throw strikes, let them put the ball in play, and leave it up to my defense to make the plays behind me, and they did. And we scrapped a few more runs on the board and sealed the deal.
And then, of course, your Ducks career continues. And from 2015 to 2018, you faced that Somerset team 4 straight years in the Liberty Division Championship Series. The Ducks won 3 of those from 2016 through 2018. Of course, you were a big part of each of those runs. How special was that rivalry as it continued to blossom? Could you sense that as a player, that it meant a little something extra when you were playing Somerset, not even just in the playoffs, but whenever you went to their ballpark or they came to Long Island?
Yeah, it was definitely the most intense rivalry we had. And I sensed it right away when I came early on in 2013. I think in 2012 we played them once, but it was late in the season and they were out of the playoffs. And
they missed the playoffs that year.
So, but that 2013 season, I could really tell. And then by the time we were in the championship series, you could tell there was something to it between the two organizations. You could just feel it. And it was a great rivalry to be a part of.
Of course, Somerset also in the news because it was announced about a week or so ago that they're going to be joining the New York Yankees organization as their AA affiliate. So Somerset also leaving the Atlantic League. Is it almost sad in a way, even though you most recently weren't pitching with the Ducks, but almost sad in a way to see that rivalry come to a conclusion, knowing that there won't be Ducks-Patriots battles anymore, as far as we can tell?
Yeah, I think it's good for Somerset, but it's kind of it's a shame, or not a
almost
shame,
bittersweet,
but
kind of
bittersweet, exactly. And because I like rivalries. I grew up in Nebraska, and the Big 8 had Oklahoma, Nebraska, and and the Big 8 split up, and then the Big 12 split up. So I like the old school rivalries, and so it's kind of sad to see that go for the Atlantic League. I think it brought a lot to that league, and everybody associated with the league knew it was the two best organizations.
Well, one thing that certainly has been talked about is Gastonia, North Carolina, getting a new Atlantic League team in 2021. Naturally, they would have that rivalry with High Point, who you most recently were pitching with back in 2019. Does that kind of add to that excitement, knowing that there's going to be a North Carolina rivalry, the two newest franchises in the Atlantic League as it stands right now.
Yeah, I think that'll be something interesting to watch for sure. The two newest teams to the league. They'll both try to establish themselves, try to be the team, that controls the South, I guess, or
Yeah,
because Sugarland's leaving, and
right.
they're going to be competing with each other from top to bottom, on the field and in the front office, and so it'll be a nice rivalry to see how that plays out.
You joined the High Point Rockers late during the 2019 season, ends your 7-year run with the Long Island Ducks, but you do get an opportunity to pitch for an expansion franchise and in the playoffs. Talk to me about your experiences that first year with High Point and what you enjoyed about playing for an expansion team like them.
It was a lot of fun. It kind of brought me back to my time when I came in 2012 up to Long Island,
Right.
Coming from the American Association, and so just you ease your way in. You don't want to be too loud or anything like that. Going into a new team, you just kind of sit back and watch how this team, the chemistry of the team, and you don't want to interrupt that being a new player. And so they had something special too. They had a good team, good chemistry, and you guys put it to us. So they're in the playoffs, especially me in game 1. So
you know what? Despite that, that was honestly one of the most exciting playoff games that I can remember. It didn't seem like it early on, but with the way that game played out, the huge comeback by High Point, and then the Davidson Romero response right after, it really turned into one of those classic games to start off the series.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun too, because with that field, the crowd's right on top of you, so it seems it's a lot louder than maybe what it is. So the fans and stuff, you could definitely tell the intensity with the crowd and everything, and that game was an exciting game.
For sure. And the first home playoff game in franchise history, they're going to be extra jacked up and into that game.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to ask you, the regular season comes to a close. You guys clinched the playoff spot on Long Island. So you're facing the Ducks in the first round of the playoffs. Was there at all a conversation between you and Jamie Keefe once you knew you were facing the Ducks? Hey, I want the ball in game 1. I want to go after those guys.
No, they came together as a staff, him and Frank and Billy. And I figured, I didn't know where I would be in the rotation or if I would be at all.
Right.
Van Meter was their ace, and we had to use him there to clinch that playoff spot. And so, he was going to be the game 1 starter. And then I think they weren't sure yet at that point, just kind of see how the end of the regular season played out. And, so I don't know what, they didn't ever come to me or anything like that.
Fair enough. For as many years as you played on Long Island and as much as you accomplished with the Ducks, was it weird taking the mound against them in that first game?
It was a little weird. But
I'd have to imagine so.
Yeah, it was a little weird just, being back in the Atlantic League and not being with the Ducks. But it was more weird, I guess, when we came there at the end of the regular season. But during the playoffs, it's and I'm pitching, that's not even close to any
kind of zoning it out.
Yeah. So it's just you're doing your job. It doesn't matter what uniform, is on the other side.
How emotional was it when you did come back to Long Island? I know they did a welcome back, John, on the scoreboard, and thank you for everything that you did. Got a nice hand from the crowd at Bethpage Ballpark. How special was that?
That was awesome. Caught me by surprise. You guys let me know right before the game that it was going to happen, and I was very thankful for it and appreciative. And the respect, or I can't think of the word I'm thinking of, but it's back. The feelings are reciprocated, I guess.
Right, kind of a mutual feeling.
And so I'm definitely very thankful for and appreciative of my time there.
Well, in that time, I mean, we could just talk about so many different things that you accomplished between two championships, a championship series MVP, Atlantic League Pitcher of the Year, pretty much every single pitching record in Ducks history, wins, games started, innings pitched, strikeouts, you name it, John Brownell's accomplished it. Is there one accomplishment that you could think back on during your time with the Ducks and say, that's kind of the most meaningful, the one that I cherish the most?
I would say the championships. Not necessarily the personal awards or anything like that, just the championships, because it is a team game, and that's why you play. You play to win the game, and it didn't matter where I fell, on the staff. I just wanted to be on a winning team, and that's what we had every year there. And it's winning brings people together, and success brings people together, and it's great, to be a part of that.
It really was incredible, those 7 years, everything that kind of took place, everything that was accomplished. And I know Ducks fans certainly will remember you forever for everything that you did for them. But off the baseball field, let's go a little bit off the baseball field and just talk about your time on Long Island. I know there was a lot of different things that you were able to take part in, different community events, helping out with things like the kids clinics and kids club day, but also getting around to see Long Island. Was there one thing about Long Island itself that you really enjoyed?
I didn't really get out of Long Island a whole lot, to adventure, to see, the East End or anything like that. But the Splish Splash, I'll remember that because I took my kids there, and
Nice.
They had a blast, and took them on some slides they were too small for, but
Right.
we won't tell anybody that.
Just means that you'll have to bring them back now that they're big enough.
Yeah, exactly. But I always liked the ferry rides across over to Bridgeport. That was always fun because that was the first time I'd been on a ferry like that, and
Nice.
go across the sound. And
that was another great rivalry, Ducks and
Yeah,
Bluefish, that cross-town rivalry.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And but it felt like, a lot smaller. It didn't feel like big city the way I expected Long Island to feel. We were far enough out from the city to where it felt more normal to me, from where I'm from. So
yeah, Omaha's no little city. I've been out there. It's got that big city feel at times to it. It's especially when you're in Lincoln on College game day. I'm sure it feels like a big city.
They get a whole new city. It's double in size.
That's right. Well, I bring up Lincoln. You did get a chance to pitch with the Lincoln Salt Dogs in 2019 before joining High Point, so that did give you the opportunity to pitch at home and see your family a lot more often. How meaningful was that to you to basically have a summer playing at home?
That was probably the most fun season I've ever had, just because of my family. Every home game they came, pretty much, and every home game that I pitched they came to. So that was the most special season to me, just because my family they were a part of it for the most part of the season.
That's great. Well, we move forward. Obviously, 2020 is coming to an end. 2021 will start soon, and the hope, of course, across the world is that there will be baseball games played, especially in minor league baseball in the Atlantic League. I know you're 37 now. Have you given any thought to what your plans are for the 2021 season?
No, I've never really been one to look too far in advance. I've just always been season to season. So, I'm getting older, so I'm leaning towards not playing.
Not to age you, Lou Ford is still crushing the baseball at 43, 44 years old.
That's true, but Lou's a different breed. He's a special guy, and I think he can hit as long as he picks up a bat.
That's true.
But as far as me, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see, what next season brings.
And regardless whether you play or not, eventually there will be a time when you do hang up the cleats. What have some of the thoughts been in terms of what you plan to do in your life after baseball?
Like I said, I don't like to look too far ahead.
Fair enough. I can't really fault you for that.
Today has enough worries in itself.
Yeah.
I'll take care of tomorrow when it comes. So, I don't know. I've, bounced around in my head. Do I want to coach or, do I want to, because if I coach, then I'm going to be away again. And so I definitely want to be involved in baseball as far as, what capacity, I don't know. I know that, I look forward to seeing my kids play. So
Sure.
that's probably what's on my mind the most right now.
No matter what profession you choose in your life after baseball, your number one job will be father. That is for
Oh
sure.
yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yep.
Awesome.
So
Well,
I'll be,
John, it's a pleasure as always to get a chance to talk to you. One of the all-time Ducks greats, arguably the greatest pitcher in Long Island Ducks history, who just absolutely shined in his 7 years with Long Island, and we're appreciative of you being our second guest here on Off the Foul Pole.
well, thank you very much, and it's good to be back with you. Good to see you. Hopefully, we can see in person, and next time you
Yeah.
come to Omaha, we can get together.
Yes. You ditched me the last time I came to Omaha. You can't do that
Yeah,
again when I come out there.
I won't. I won't. And congratulations on your engagement, by the way.
Thank you. I greatly
Yep.
appreciate that.
Yep.
John Brownell, always a pleasure. And I look forward to hopefully getting a chance to watch you throw a baseball on the mound again soon.
All right. Thank you.